Groovy English Podcast.
Hey there! Welcome back to Groovy English. I'm Chloe.
And I'm Aiden. We share real stories, useful tips, and everyday English to help you grow with confidence.
Wherever you are in your English learning journey, we're glad you're here.
If you're enjoying the podcast, feel free to like, subscribe, or share it with a friend.
Let's get started.
Hi everyone, I'm Eva. Today, I want to tell you about something that completely changed the way I learn English, the moment I realized I could actually think in English. For a long time, I believed that thinking in English was only for advanced speakers or people who lived abroad. Definitely not for me, a girl from a small town who learned English through subtitles and pop songs. But I was wrong. Completely wrong. And I want to share with you how that moment happened and what it led to. It started on a rainy Tuesday. I remember it clearly. I was walking home from school, umbrella in one hand, earphones in the other. I was listening to an English podcast. Just casually listening while dodging puddles. Then, something funny happened. A dog ran past me completely soaked. And in my mind, I thought, that poor dog looks like a wet mop. And then I stopped walking. Because I didn't think that in my native language. I didn't translate it. I thought it in English. I looked around, as if someone would say, "Did you hear that?" But no one did. It was just me and the sound of raindrops. And that sentence, sitting in my brain, in English. It felt like magic. I had read about thinking in English, but I thought it was something you had to force. This one just came out naturally. That moment made me realize, maybe I was farther along in my learning journey than I thought. After that, I decided to test it. The next day, I tried to describe everything around me in English. Quietly, in my head. That tree is really tall. That girl's wearing red shoes. Ugh, I forgot my math homework again. At first, it was slow. I still had to translate sometimes. But each time I repeated it, the words came faster. They became smoother. I didn't stop to overthink them anymore. I also started using a fun trick, talking to myself while doing chores. Washing dishes. I'd say, "These plates are super greasy." Cleaning my room. I should really throw this away. Why am I keeping this old receipt? Simple stuff. But that habit helped me connect everyday life with everyday English. Some nights, when I couldn't sleep, I would lie in bed and imagine conversations in English. I'd pretend I was ordering food, or asking for directions, or just chatting with a friend. I even started dreaming in English just once or twice, but it felt surreal. Of course, there were moments when I couldn't find the right word. Or I'd say something weird like, "Open the light," instead of, "Turn on the light." But instead of feeling frustrated, I started laughing at myself. Because I knew that every time I made a mistake, I was getting better. After about a month of this habit, something amazing happened. I was walking with my cousin, and she asked me, "Hey, what are you thinking about?" And I had to pause. because I was thinking in English. I told her, honestly, I was just rehearsing something in my head, in English. She laughed and said, "Wow. You're kind of weird." I laughed too. But inside, I was proud. It felt like a secret superpower. Another benefit? I became faster at speaking. Before, I'd hear a question in English, then translate it into my language, think of a reply, translate it back to English, then speak. That took forever. But now, I reply instantly, no translation needed. It's like cutting out the middleman in my brain. And guess what? This helped me so much in real conversations. At a coffee shop, the barista asked, "For here or to go?" and I answered immediately. No panic. No brain freeze. Just a natural, "To go, please." It felt small, but it was a big win for me. Thinking in English also helped me understand people better. I started picking up on jokes, tone, and rhythm. I understood why someone might say, "That's rich," when they mean something is ironic. I started to feel the language, not just understand it. So what's my advice? Start small. Start slow. And don't force it. You don't need to think in English all the time. Just start by naming objects around you. This is a pencil. That's a red bag. Then move on to your thoughts. I'm hungry. I want to go out. I hate math class. It might feel strange at first. But with time, it becomes part of you. And the best part? You don't need anyone else. You don't need perfect grammar or big words. You just need your brain, and a bit of curiosity. And if you forget a word, no problem. Just skip it, or describe it another way. That's what real speakers do, too. Looking back now, I realize this was one of the biggest turning points in my English journey. Not passing a test. Not getting a certificate. But learning to think in English. Quietly. Naturally. Without fear. So if you're listening right now and wondering, will I ever be fluent? My answer is, you're already on your way. Because you're here. You're learning. You're trying. And one day, when you're not even thinking about it, you'll look at something and think, "Wow, that looks like a wet mop." And you'll smile because that's the day you'll know. At first, it was just a few simple thoughts. I would look at the clock and say in my head, "It's 7:30. Time for breakfast." Or I'd walk to the kitchen and think, "I'll make eggs today." These were small, everyday sentences, but they helped me train my brain to stop translating. The more I did this, the more natural it felt. I realized my brain was slowly switching over, like changing gears in a car. Then something funny happened. One morning, I dropped my spoon and without thinking, I said, "Oops," out loud. Not in my native language, just oops. It sounds small, but for me, it was huge. It meant my reactions were starting to come out in English. That was when I knew thinking in English wasn't just practice anymore. It was becoming my habit. To keep going, I started doing my inner monologue in English. While walking to class, I would describe what I saw in my mind. There's a red car. That girl has cool shoes. The sky looks cloudy today. It sounds silly, but it worked. I was building vocabulary in real time without a textbook or teacher. And the best part? I didn't feel tired like I used to when memorizing words. I felt curious and connected. Eventually, I challenged myself to have entire conversations in English with myself. Before a meeting or social event, I would rehearse in my mind, what if they ask me where I'm from? I'll say, I'm from Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam. Or, if they say, how's your day? I'll say, pretty good, thanks. How about you? This kind of mental role-play helped me feel prepared, and I started responding faster in real conversations. Thinking in English didn't just improve my fluency. It changed how I saw myself. I stopped saying, I'm not good at English. I started saying, I'm improving every day. That confidence grew slowly, but it stayed with me. So now, when learners ask me, how can I speak more naturally? I always say, don't just study English, live in English. Think in it. Talk to yourself. Make it your second brain. It all starts with one small thought. As I kept practicing, I noticed my dreams even started happening in English. Sometimes I'd wake up remembering a conversation I had imagined or a new phrase I wanted to try out. It felt like English was no longer just a subject I studied. It was part of my life, my thoughts, and even my imagination. That made learning feel fun instead of stressful. Looking back, I realized that the hardest part wasn't the grammar or vocabulary. It was training my mind to switch from my native language to English without hesitation. That switch took time and patience, but every small step brought me closer. And if I can do it, so can you. Just start thinking in English, one sentence at a time, and watch how your skills grow. One of the biggest surprises was how much my confidence grew. Not just in speaking, but in listening too. When I heard people talk in English around me, instead of feeling lost, I started catching words and understanding the meaning. It was like a light switch turned on, and suddenly English wasn't a mystery anymore. That feeling gave me even more motivation to keep going every day. And here's something important, mistakes stopped feeling scary. At first, I worried about saying things wrong or sounding weird. But as I practiced more, I learned that mistakes are actually proof that I'm trying and learning. Each mistake was like a step forward, and over time, I made fewer and fewer. So don't be afraid to mess up. It's all part of the journey.
Your English is shining brighter by the minute. Hit that next video to keep leveling up your skills. Or dive into our other episodes for more secrets to talk like a pro. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share to join the Groovy English crew.